Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spice Sessions. I have my regular co host for Spice Sessions, Jazzy Jace, is here. How are you doing, Jace?
Hey y'all, hey y'all. I'm trying to drown out the sound of sirens. It's quite busy today. I
I
am well. As I said earlier, my cups runneth over. My love cups are full. I have uh, excess. I'm just overflowing with joy. Yay!
That's right. Well, I'm
Mhm.
glad you had a great week. I had a pretty good week as well. I'm happy that it's over. I'll tell you that. I'm happy to be here and to, like you said, hang out with you for a little bit.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Now, the
Um,
topic I decided to talk about today is the topic of virginity. It's an age old topic. You have different feelings. Many people have different feelings about when's the right time. Society has its standards it puts on women for it.
well,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, you have the religious factor, how different religions feel about it. So, a- and I did a little bit of research today,
Hmm.
and virginity isn't even really a concept that you can really measure, as far as when they say the hymen, whether it is broken, because it can get broken by a variety of things.
Hmm.
It isn't doesn't necessarily have to be intercourse, and some women don't even have one. They weren't even born with said hymen. So that's where, that's a concept that it seems like it doesn't really have a basis other than, I think personally, control. Um, to say, hold up a standard and a value in certain countries. I was looking at, they have virginity checks that are standard uh,
Yeah.
for young women. The UN I seen, uh, I believe it was as recent as 2018, brought up the fact that virginity checks should be banned, um, on a
Wasn't
just a
T.I.
mass
accused
level.
of doing that to his daughter?
I believe
Wasn't
so.
that one of the things that had the internet abuzz that he had taken his daughter to have a virginity check? Wow.
Hmm. Yep, I believe so. What are your thoughts, Jace, on basically the whole concept or the culture around virginity?
Well, yeah, well, we
Or
know what
experience
virginity is
too?
about. It means that you've never had sexual intercourse. That's just a very basic thing. You never engaged in any intercourse. Now,
Mhm.
in the church especially in the church, Christian church, I would think many religions, because many of them are patriarchal and headed by men, and in some what we would call third world countries, or those that might be considered less developed, it's virginity is very important. In the church, you are made to feel, you once you start uh your cycle, you're told, I was told that, well, you're a woman now, Well, that's not how my mother spoke, but and that you had would that she didn't pretend that I was that things weren't going to be stirring, and because bodies become very active when you're in high school. You just part of growing up.
Hmm.
But the whole thought of getting pregnant was terrifying. So um, yeah, a woman would be made, and of course, a lot of stigma put on women that weren't virgins. I remember sitting up in a class in high school, and the teacher asked how many of the girls there wanted to be virgins when they married, and how many wanted their husbands to be experienced. You know, I said, well, how are they going to get experience? They have to be doing it with somebody. So, I mean,
Hmm.
why would you put down the teachers? I'd be mad if he was with somebody and he didn't know shit. come, come
Right.
raggedy. Yeah. Be mad about that. Don't be mad about the women's. But anyway, yeah, and I also know the importance, I mean, of that in other cultures. It's not just Christians, it's not just blacks, it's not just there is no color attached to virginity, the importance of it, the guilt that women are made to feel when they aren't virgins, the ways your virginity might be taken. I was taught that when you laid with somebody and you gave yourself to them, it was love. And the hard lesson was to find out that I might have been in love, but the person I was with wasn't feeling that.
Hmm.
It was a thing. It would fill him with pride that he was the first. So I I guess I don't know if I even answered the question. It's just as you stated, it's difficult to define. I think with each, if you were to ask 10 women their thoughts, you probably get 10 different answers. Very personal.
It is. It is definitely very personal, and I think that's where people get into catch 22, assuming that we all think the same about certain topics, or we all have to fall into a certain pattern in thinking, and it's not true. I think you should definitely have diversity of thought when it comes to these types of things, for sure. uh how did you feel about it, Jace, personally, like when it came to, did you feel like it was better to wait? Did you feel like you were influenced by religion with a lot of the morals? Like, how has it changed? Do you feel differently than how you felt before about it?
Do you do you feel differently? I mean, I do you feel differently? I'm not quite, because to tell you the truth, uh, my upbringing, I mean, my parents, the church. I mean, I'm sure all of that was in effect, and I don't know if when I was in the act of losing it, I gave any of that any thought. That was
Yeah.
not the thing I was thinking. And again, I think this is a personal thing. There are women who really do not want to sleep, and men too, who don't want to sleep with someone until they are married. I remember when Russell, what's his name, and Ciara were courting. I remember how sweet it was that they had elected not to be intimate until they were married and they were in their wedding bed. I thought that was really special.
Hmm.
But I don't think it didn't, obviously didn't have anything to do with virginity or anything.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it? I mean, what do
I
you?
mean,
How was it for you when you were growing up?
for me,
And
it was
your thoughts?
for me, it was about um, the church. It was basically, none of that until marriage.
Yeah.
Coming up during my adolescent years, I wasn't really focused on that at all. Actually, like I was almost averse to the whole concept of it to a certain degree.
Hmm.
It gave me hives.
Really, you that
um,
nervous, huh?
it's just like I don't want to do all that.
Yes.
Um, but I happened to change my mind. Um, my now husband, previously my boyfriend, we've been together for since 17. And yeah,
Just a little bit.
we
You've been together
were,
how long?
I'd say, so 2007,
You all
however
been
long that is.
you've been
Yeah.
married or together since 2007?
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's
Since
pretty damn
17.
amazing. That's great.
Yeah, since 17. So, I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
for I think for about 6, no, 7 months, we didn't do anything.
Mm,
And it was up to me where I felt comfortable. I felt like I wasn't pressured. I felt I had to feel secure. It
mm-hmm,
was never something like, oh, I just have to lose it, or I feel pressure to lose it, or, you
mm-hmm.
know, um, I was battling more so from the Christian standpoint
Yeah,
of it. But
it's pretty oppressive, that's for sure. It still
yeah,
is, but I mean,
yeah,
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 you
for
had to think
sure.
about all of that. You had to think
Mhm.
about. I thought of it all. Uh, However, I even know. I remember the name of the guy that took my virginity. I remember his name. I remember how I was really excited to see him. I enjoyed kissing him. We hadn't done anything, but we were when we went to the drive-in. There was something about it became pretty apparent that this was not going to be just watching the movies. And at that point, I don't recall if I just went along because actually I just don't recall much about it. Did I just go along because that's what I was supposed to do? Did I enjoy it? Um, I don't remember all those things. It must have been lousy, but but anyway, I remember his name and I remember he was a Leo. Uh,
Okay.
and had a lot of bravado and there was electricity or something. He was pretty electric.
Okay. What can I remember? I remember that there was an Alicia Keys song playing. Uh, yeah. What else? Because I was 18. Uh,
Yeah.
we had turned
Oh
18,
yeah,
so I
that part.
think,
Yeah, I wasn't underage. I mean, I
yeah.
graduated, from high school, and yeah, that part.
Mm-hmm,
Even though
mm-hmm.
people expected me to be pregnant, and I would have been tagged as one of the fast girls, I guess, because I was smart and curious, and um, I don't know. To some people, they just figured that I was gonna be pregnant and or a hoe. That I was gonna. I don't know what I mean. I really don't
Oh,
know what anyone thought. I don't because because I went to a school that was mixed. There were Paiute Indian, a bunch of white people, all Trumpers, I'm sure, this day, probably then, because there were civil rights things going on. Racism was stealth where I lived.
Mm.
The black guys and boys on who were the athletes, they were the guys that women. I wasn't really that interested in any of them. It seemed they were more interested in me than I was in them. I didn't find any of them hot or anything.
Appealing.
Yeah, I really didn't. So I just know that that there were those. You don't find out a lot of stuff till after you leave and come. You leave home, go to college. You come back on spring break or something like that, or Christmas holidays, and people say shit to you like, "Oh wow, you haven't had any children yet?" Nope, I have not.
No.
Like what a thing. What?
Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, that question was asked of me. I think I was like 17 or something. I was like 17, 18, something like that. And I always looked kind of young. So
No,
I was
no. I mean, what are
born.
you talking about?
And I'm like,
I
what?
was kind of young. I would say that still holds true.
Does it?
Yes, that is still the truth.
I'm like, no. He's like, you don't have any kids? Because, we went up to the corner store, pick
Uh-huh.
up some snacks. He's like, oh, you don't have any kids? No. What do you mean? What are you saying to me? Yeah, at that point, I haven't even had sex yet. It's like, what?
Well, after I have to say that after I traveled several thousand miles away from where I was, where my family was, and I was getting a freshman in college and getting to know my surroundings and the people around me. I mean, I can't. I just have to say I had a lot of fun. That's all. I had a lot of fun.
We had a lot of fun. Well, good.
I did. I did. There were, some missteps along the way, but for the most part, I had a lot of fun.
Hmm.
And well, what do you think? I mean, this is what I've heard. It's alleged that in some countries, in some cultures, the way that women remain virgins, of course, it says here on this particular little thing that the basic idea of virginity is an ancient one. People in ancient Roman Greece used the term virgin to
Mhm.
refer to a woman or goddess who was independent and autonomous and not attached or owned by any man. I imagine that made her more exciting. If
Yeah,
she was independent and doing her thing, that might have been uh, what was exciting to these men. But I heard in some cultures that women will indulge, put your hands over your ears if you have delicate ears, but that women will indulge in other kinds of sexual activity to make sure their hymen remains intact.
exactly.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah. Um, so, I've had friends who like to ride horses and they lost their virginity because they were riders. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And like you said, some women don't have a hymen.
Yes. Like, you know how they say women bleed or whatnot. That never happened to me. So, Not every woman is the same. I never bled.
Women are such awesome and wonderful mysteries and such gifts to mankind. I don't know
Hmm.
why they don't get it.
I don't understand it
The
either.
mysteries of a woman's body, the ability to be the landing page or the landing thing or the nester, to bring life into the world with a minimal contribution. That's fucking amazing. That's
Yeah.
it's beyond amazing. There are
Yes, it is.
galaxies within all of us, but I think with women, we reach further out. We are so much further out in the galaxy. You know,
Hmm. What, men from Mars, women from
right? Women
Venus?
from
What
Venus,
did I
planet
say?
of love, my ruling planet. Yeah.
See, makes sense.
Mhm, mhm. So, how did you feel once the deed was done and
Hmm.
you were deflowered?
Uh, that I wanted to do it again.
You did.
Yeah, yeah,
I think that might have been my case too. That wow,
yeah.
that was we hit a rough spot, but hey, since we're at it, we may as well stay at it. You know, since we're doing this, because it was painful, but there was some pleasure attached to it. I do recall.
I mean, yeah, it was painful for sure.
Hmm.
But there was pleasure, and the more you engaged, the better it would get.
Of course.
So I was trying to get over that hump part, get over the let's
You
push
know
right
what?
on through.
I do remember. I really liked him. I really liked him. I'm not gonna say his name. He doesn't deserve that. I don't think. But I really liked him. So that was also part of the whole vibe. That there was this. I was excited. I was happy to see him, and so I was, delighted to. And again, I like to kiss him, and to me, for me, kissing and knowing how to kiss somebody is very important. He knew that. He knew how to do that.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Oh, it is.
that
It
brought
is
a lot of
important.
comfort and you were more peaceful. You weren't afraid.
And I didn't want to get into that unless I was ready a
Yeah.
1,000%, and nobody was going to, try to persuade me or push me into doing something
Yeah.
that I wasn't ready to do. That just it never worked like that for me, and I've made people aware of this. Uh, so don't waste your time. Okay, I don't
Yeah.
need you, trying to talk to me thinking it's some ulterior motive attached, and you feel like you can put on the right charm, say the right
Hmm.
thing. No, don't waste your time and don't waste mine, because it's not
Hmm.
going to happen until I'm good and ready.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's pretty much uh, what I think. I think it is intensely personal.
Hmm.
I respect women and men who who in earnest cling to their
Mm-hmm.
and they do so lovingly and wholeheartedly and purely, if that makes any sense.
It does.
Because so many, I respect that. There are so many women who aren't given a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, they are not, not only they're not, well, no, they're not given a choice
Mm-hmm.
about how they lose their virginity. There's so many ugly ways that it can happen.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually was reading, they have certain patron saints to where they're called um, martyrs of chastity or martyrs of virginity, to where the reoccurring theme is their virginity gets taken from them in certain ways. These are women who swore an oath, to remain pure. Certain higher
Mm-hmm.
men in power, because they wanted them for themselves and they were denied. Then they
Mm-hmm.
go into ugly ways of taking it from them. But
Mm-hmm.
the power in it was that, these women were saying, you feel like you're taking something from me, but I remain pure yet and still, because
Yeah.
you cannot take anything from me. Um, that that's not your position, that's not your place, and you still don't have that power over me. So that was really interesting. And
Yeah.
when I looked through down the rabbit hole,
Mm-hmm. What else did you find out in the rabbit hole as you went furrowing deeper and deeper?
well, I just found the UN stuff about how many places still do virginity checks and how it was gross. Um,
Yeah, it
that
is
it,
pretty gross.
yeah, it's just a way of justifying abuse in some sort, in most situations.
Yeah.
And you can even tie that back around, that same concept to what they want to do here in certain red states when it comes to the gender situation, and
Mm-hmm.
want to check kids' gender, and subject them to testing for certain sports. Like it's gross out here.
Yes, yes, it is gross, and you, and in today's climate, and with phony Christian nationalism and the harshness of men, because these are men who are making decisions for women. Of course, some women go along, but I would be willing to bet you that the fact that we have an ex-president on trial. This woman wasn't a virgin, but I mean, she's a virgin to him uh, when she accused him of rape, or I guess we can say that. Can we say that?
Mm,
Well, it's amazing to me that he gets a break, or that has become all right, because so many women go through that. That is the first introduction they have to sex.
mm-hmm.
So they don't, I don't, and it's a shame, because you had to wonder how many of those women even understand what a loving relationship is, or how much guilt do they carry with themselves when I have to tell their significant others or somebody who might be thinking of marrying them that, I was raped or what, just, it's just a lot. It just
Yeah,
feels like it's such a lot.
it is a lot. I wanna pull on that case actually, and what's gonna happen with that for her, because after all this time, finally justice, she can tell her side of the story and get a little piece of, hopefully get a piece of justice
Mm-hmm.
that she deserves. Because I don't know if you heard Jay said, didn't I heard something about her saying that she became a secondary, like she wouldn't have sex after that anymore, like it was something that she decided. It messed with her enough to where she didn't want to have any more sexual relationships um, afterwards. So
Well, can you blame her
no, I cannot.
if that is because it's, well, I would think to have someone just brutally, when you are perhaps fighting them off or saying no or struggling with it, obviously not enjoying it. I would imagine, yeah, that would turn me off to the point where I don't see how any that is trauma that has to be worked out, and for how no one knows, it may be trauma this woman has to deal with for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But can't even see, the first card I got out the deck was the Chariot card here.
Mm.
So to me, that's saying that this case is gonna go hard and fast. I don't think that the jury, the courts here, which is expressed right, let's see if you can even see that, which is
Mm-hmm. It
expressed
disappeared
by
and
the
bring it back
Hierophant.
up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the Hierophant there. Um, I don't think the courts are going to rule uh, in Trump's favor at all.
Let me get my
Actually,
cards. We'll
then
see
I
how
have to.
anybody could, but there are plenty of people who just simply refuse. They're giving him the pass.
Yep.
It's pretty much, we don't care what he does. That was then. You know, he's not that kind of man. I had a maybe we can ask this question too, because this thought came to me. So let me get my cards.
Okay.
I was thinking about him and this, because I caught that the news story where she said, her statement was, he raped me whether I screamed or not.
Mm,
And then we hear stories from other women that say that he did the same to them. He invited them into some place to allegedly look at a painting, and when they knew anything, he had pounced on them and was, I began to think that that's how he gets off for entertainment purposes only. That
mm,
is his thing.
mm.
That is how he gets his jollies.
Well, last card I get for that is the page of water, and that's telling me that it's gonna be lot things are gonna get exposed here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's gonna be made vulnerable in a way that um I think he might have saw coming, but not completely. Like all his stuff is being laid out in a way he is not comfortable with,
Yeah.
and he feels like he doesn't have any control over. We can do
Exactly.
that.
And all of his motions are about putting off the inevitable almost, huh? So your question is how the is she gonna get a favorable ruling or
Yeah.
hmm, is E. Jean Carroll going to get a favorable ruling? Uh, my gut tells me that okay. Here's what I think. Now this is me before I even turn on some cards. I just want to say that we know that one of the stars of this trial was the dress, right?
Oh, yes.
The
Yes.
dress that
It's always that
yeah,
dress.
she kept the dress all these years with the schmegma on it. Now apparently when it was tested, even though this hasn't been allowed in for some reason, which I find, the judge ruled that this couldn't be discussed, but that it was too broke. By the time that he wanted to give DNA, it was already too late for him
Mm.
to give DNA. You know what I'm saying? By the time he said, "Yeah, I'll give DNA," uh,
Yeah.
the time had already passed for him to do that. He's good at that, missing deadlines.
Yeah. Yeah.
He didn't want to come up like later on and say, "Well, yeah, now I'm ready to do it." Well, no, that's dead. So the dress, I don't know how much is going to be discussed because the DNA broke down or something. How many years ago was it? 20, 30 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't know what lasts that long, except maybe some of this food that we buying in boxes at the store these days. I try to avoid that aisle. You know what I'm saying? But still, that's the only thing I know that lasts that long. So we want to see if he's going to be committed. Okay. Well, right now I have the Nine of Swords, and it just feels like he's really. This is how he feels. He's really fighting. He's feeling battered,
Mm-hmm.
and even though he's got these wands around him, these could be the people that are around him, like kind of running interference, or his attorneys, or some kind of some kind of frail, ineffective protection, or a place where he can have something. But I feel like this is how he's feeling now. He's feeling battered because who wouldn't be?
I mean,
Who wouldn't be like you got the federal people's coming after you, got state governments coming after you. I mean, and things seem to be snowballing. Yeah, I think that's how he's feeling right now. And of course, I can't help but think he's hoping that he's either, I got to figure out what position I put this card in, but he's either thinking about or talking about when things were really good and and he was happy as president. He was really running the country good. He's got people around him telling him, yeah, yeah. I would think they have to really talk to him like that, but I think he might be thinking of how things were before they just got so fucking out of hand.
yeah.
We were having a good time. We were all friends. We
Right.
partied together.
And
All
all
the
this.
seeds I've planted,
Oh.
all the seeds that I've planted. I've made you remember that statement with the seven of I made you all that much richer tonight. You think he had a dinner when he gave the tax breaks to the wealthiest? Look at all these seeds I've planted. I'm a good guy. I'm a good guy. Aren't I a good guy? But now I think he's understanding When I look at this cup, I see that something's being handed him to him that he doesn't really want it, and this could very well be the. First of all, look at how thoughtful and lonely this cat looks.
Yeah.
Uh, because this cup that's being extended is, you it could be, you cooperate, make you a little bit, give you a piece, break you off a piece, or we could cut you some slack or something if you cooperate. But he's not accepting it. He's betting on the cups that he has. He's thinking that.
Mm.
I think he's actually feeling like this. No matter who's around him, no matter what they're saying, he knows the inevitable. This little cup, the inevitable is near. He doesn't want it. Who would want it? You don't know if you're gonna go to jail, all your money gone. You're gonna be on an ankle monitor because life used to be so fucking good.
Oh man.
Used to be so fucking good. God damn me. Where did it all go? Where did it all go wrong? So right now we got people, of course, meeting, and we got Ted Cruz, Tucker Carlson. See, what people don't seem to realize, I think what is happening today began many, 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 many years ago. When because white men, especially wealthy white men, have always felt that they're the only ones with any intelligence, and the only ones who should be allowed to rule over the people. You know. So to me, in this current scenario, this is everybody meeting up. Okay, we got Tucker, we
Uh-oh.
we got Zaddy, we got Tucker, we got anybody else? What, Jim Jordan? You know, we got anybody who's involved meeting.
Mm-mm.
I'm just telling a story. That's all I'm doing. This is just my. This is how I'm reading it today. I'm just telling a story.
I see it. I'm feeling it.
Yeah, they're all meeting because they're scared because WTF, Thomas got us all fucked up on the course, and everybody on the court everybody on the court is trying to stand together to protect each other. That's very curious to me, but that ain't what we talking about right now. We talking about what is going to happen at this trial. What will be the verdict? And I just see him. He gonna have to move on. It ain't gonna be a good one. Well, it ain't gonna be a good verdict. Your ass might have to just
Uh-oh.
losses and move on.
Oh
Like if you
no.
got a boyfriend in North Korea, you got one in Russia. You got. Maybe you can become friends with. You signed documents with the Taliban, so you got pals. But I'd be careful of my pals because you see look at these swords.
Mm-hmm.
At any moment now, one could be in your back. Yeah, I think that he's pretty much bait. He keeps. Let's continue with the story.
Yeah, let's continue it.
He, he's waiting for somebody to bring him some good news. I don't know that this could be a man or a woman. He's bless his heart. They come all
Mhm.
dressed up and everything and all cheerful and stuff. Yeah, yeah. All is well, all is well, all is well. It does not stop the worry that he has at night. And that's it. I think he's still living in the past. He's still living in the past because that's the only place he has any joy right now. And if
Mm.
I were to, think, now I might be giving him too much credit, But I'm thinking that what does he have left to think of, except have people around him who are still telling him how great he is, and he's talking a lot about how things used to be, because that's where his joy, his comfort is coming from. So I would say that this rape trial is just
Oh,
going to be the beginning of many trials. He's he may have to. I hope that they obviously don't have his passports, because he was in Scotland at his golf club as a hearing was going on.
yeah. I'm wondering how is he?
Yeah, why is he still free to fly? Is my question.
Like, I don't understand that.
I do not either. It's all suspicious to me. Why is he allowed to leave the country? Yeah. So that's the way I see it. That was my story for him. No, it's not going to be well for you, son.
No, not at all.
It's not going to be well for you at all. Uh, our girl, Mr. Ed Jr. Go ahead. What's your card? What did you get? You got
Oh, I was gonna say I pulled the let me see if you can. I pulled the crystal card and I got amethyst for like what's over the trial. So this is kind of telling me, like, giving me the feeling of karma in some sort of ways. Like there's like a higher sense of karma that's going on with
Mhm.
this trial. There's gonna be some things that are gonna come out that, like I said before, he not gonna be too comfortable with. Um,
Yeah.
at all. Is gonna expose him in the worst of ways, and up until now, like, he don't really care nothing about shame. Like,
No, it's been
it's like he
publicly.
can't be shamed no
Yeah.
matter what's going on. But I think this is gonna hit different, uh, if I do say so myself. And I
Oh
think the
yeah.
amethyst card kind of points to that too.
Oh yeah. I feel you on that. I absolutely do. The trip to Scotland. There's meetings going on. This could be, he could possibly be meeting with people to see how he can get out of the country if he has to. I mean,
Mm.
people say they don't see him going to prison. We don't know. Maybe sometimes I don't think you're supposed to be able to see some stuff. I
Yeah.
think it's purposefully shrouded. And maybe we're
Hmm.
not supposed to see that yet. How would that affect people right now? Some people will be very happy, but it could trigger others. Sometimes we're not supposed to know what's going to happen too far down the line. We might be too fucking nosy. We might need to be thinking about what's going on right now
Yeah.
underneath your nose.
Ain't that the truth?
He apparently forgot Melania's birthday again.
What happened?
He didn't make no announcement on Melania's birthday. I don't think she cares, but
Yeah, she don't care nothing
if
about
he
that.
tweeted about her birthday, it wasn't publicly. He wasn't sending out gushy uh, notes. But I was just thinking about Marjorie Taylor Greene. She's really been showing her ass lately.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She's gotten bolder and bolder and bolder.
Well, that's because she runs the house.
Well, yeah, she's either carrying his balls in her handbag as souvenirs, or they just dissolved between that dry, fetid, sulfur filled pit between her thighs.
Oh, I was gonna say this too, Jace, for staying on topic with the virginity
Yeah,
thing.
right. We went all, I'm sorry.
We went all off topic.
Yeah, we just went all
But
off topic.
before I do that, I did pull on like Trump when him going to Scotland or whatever.
Hmm.
This fool is clueless. I got citrine, which is like joyful exuberance, all of that stuff. This he is a fool, bruh. He is
Yeah.
thinking like, oh, I'm about to go over here. I'm about to get my shit off. That's probably why he's not wishing Melania no happy birthday because he was over there probably screwing on a broad somewhere over there because you know that's that orange is down there, I think, in that groin region, you know, right
Mm,
up in that groin. So we got to
yeah.
keep that'll, you know, be aware with that. But with the virginity thing, something else that I forgot earlier to tell you when I was looking down the rabbit hole is that apparently people used to sell tonics or whatever that supposedly regrow a hymen.
What
Yeah,
was that?
yeah.
Snake oil? It had to was it snake oil? It had to be snake oil. I can't. That was yeah. So we know that Slicks has been slicking for a long time. Is that really true?
Huh?
That's really true.
Yeah, that's what I seen. Yep,
Wow.
yep, yep, yep. So, yeah, I seen that. I'm like, that's wild.
Mm. Uh.
That's just a new level of crazy.
Well, apparently, there's also a myth for male versions that when they lose their virginity, their penis will grow. I don't know how. I don't know if that's been scientifically proven. Probably the same kind of snake oil shit that the hymen regrowth serum. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Oh,
my gosh.
no, I don't. I don't know if that's how that works, man. But of course, I don't have a penis. Don't
No,
accuse to have
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think that is how that works. But apparently, there is a surgery that a man can have to add at least what is it 2 to 4 inches on his penis
really.
because yeah because apparently there's like a lot of it of the penis that is inside like that is like that's
I'm sorry.
that's inside there's more of it
There's more
but
penis inside.
it's on the inside so what they do is it's like a surgery to where they can you pull that or something to where you can sculpt it out and it adds a couple more inches onto the penis. It's like yeah it's a penis extension surgery. Yes, yes.
Now I know when you have Peyronie's disease, I've seen the commercial. See, that's how I know. But they call it bent carrot. That there's surgery that they call scratching. The surgeon does scratching where he takes away the scar tissue
Mm-hmm.
and that of course and straightens the penis out. But I'm wondering how long you have to. You probably have to do some kind of exercises with that, penile stretching and being careful not because penises can break. I mean, damn, that's a lot of.
Yes, it is.
That's a lot.
And you know what? I think we're gonna end it on that note because
Well, do you think that? Do you feel like once you were no longer a virgin that you became like this different person?
no, I didn't. And it's funny because I heard people say that before, like they feel like they're more free, or they feel like they're more uninhibited, or they turn into like this different. Oh, I don't know. Here's how I would say that I changed. I enjoyed sex, and I wanted to have it a lot, every chance that I could. But as far as like my demeanor and things like that, I wouldn't, or my personality, I wouldn't say that I changed. But then again, that's like from a subjective standpoint. I would probably have to ask people around that time if I was acting different, or if I had a switch when I walked
Right.
and I didn't before. I don't know. And if I did, I didn't notice.
Was I smiling a lot more, dressing differently, or yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those that's just one of the myths that it will change. It changes you that it's to the point, I don't know, what up to the miraculous maybe. Hopefully
Mm-hmm,
the change is something, if it does, that it's something pleasant and not something horrific. But again, it's one of those topics where, what does even that mean? And the whole idea that it's attached to purity and
yeah.
white clothes and all that, it's like,
And chastity balls,
oh,
that's something that
oh,
that was
yeah.
down the rabbit hole that I seen too, which is kind of gross to me. I think that's kind of weird. You're simulating a marriage with your daughter to where I pledge allegiance, I pledge my virginity to my father, and
Oh
his
my
sole
God.
object responsibility is to protect me until I get married. It's weird.
That's
It's
too weird for me. It's creepy, okay? I
it's
don't
a
care what
little
anybody
creepy.
says, that's creepy.
A little bit. Yeah, it
That's
is.
extremely creepy because those kinds of incestuous relationships are not unusual. So that's real fucking creepy.
Yeah,
And
it
so you jump
definitely
from the
is.
frying pan into the fire.
Yeah,
People so
yeah,
complicate the beauty of life.
they do.
It would be just wonderful if, I think, since we're all aliens, and if we are fortunate, we find spiritual tribe members that we recognize each other or something. But I really think that the one thing that we are supposed to know how to do, according to the scripture that people so love, is that we're to love ye one another as I have loved you, which means, yeah, we all fucked up, we all made mistakes.
Mhm.
Hopefully we don't keep making the same ones. That we don't lose our ability to love.
Right.
Wouldn't it be boring if everybody thought the same way, did the same? I just don't know. That that's not interesting to me or of interest to me.
Mhm.
The
Mhm.
diversity, the beauty of life, even in flowers of the same family, each flower has a distinct kind of petal structure.
Mhm. Mhm.
And yet you can plant different flowers together and everything is just a beautiful garden. I know it sounds real pie in the sky, real, it sounds real fantastical or something, but it doesn't, it just, don't you just, I just think, wouldn't you just get tired of being mad and pissed off and judgmental and hateful just all the fucking time? I mean,
Yeah.
really? Is there no day you wake up and you're just glad to be awake and to experience the joy of a beautiful spring day?
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's what, so that women have had, and I say all that to say that because we are women, and I'm a woman, it's older than you, and been on the corner a lot longer. Um, so much responsibility of rules or laws or regulate or so much shit is put on women.
Yeah.
And as I can only speak as a black woman, um, so much stuff is so much weight is put on us, not just a lot of times from our own, which is the most hateful or hurtful thing, when your own people want to separate you from them or from a group because you don't look, it's the same shit. It's just the
Yeah.
same stuff. And I guess what I've been thinking of more lately is how much more beautiful and how much easier my life is when I ain't fighting nothing. When I am simply when I'm simply just being appreciative and thankful and grateful for the next thing.
Yeah.
And
1000%.
yeah, women, if you ain't a virgin, it's cool. All it's cool. For
Right.
those of you that were willingly submitted and like me thought you were in love and gave it up. Well, you find out again that maybe you are in love, but maybe the partner isn't. It's a lot. For those of you that perhaps haven't had a great experience with it, it's there's still time to heal and feel better. Women just don't often have ways. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It just feels like we get heaped on a lot, have a lot of shit put on us, and virginity is just one more of those things that really, when you think about it, is kind of meaningless.
It is. It really is. I mean, it is. It means it only has as much value as you place on it, right? So
Yeah,
if you are somebody who values it, then that is you. Good for you. If you're
yeah,
somebody who does not care, okay, that's a part of the beauty is it should be your choice. You should be
yeah,
able to live and choose what you want to do or what you don't want to do with
yes.
your own body.
With your own body,
Period.
have license over your own body. Amen.
Mhm. Yep. And with that, I think we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
It was it was great talking to you, Jace, as
Yeah, I think I got
always.
a little bit turned around and twisted because wasn't formulating the thought very good. I just want women to stand strong and stand in their truth. Just
Nah, your point was gotten across 1,000%. We got what you mean. I got
okay, girl. But
what you saying.
sometimes you got to pull me out the bushes, girl.
No, I'm actually gonna. I say I'll jump in the weeds with you.
Okay, of, of course.
We'll both be rolling around in
We'll
there.
be rolling around in the weeds together.
I used to see branches sticking out.
Yeah, right, right. Weeds in your hair, bugs, because bugs come with weeds, and you just looking dusty, like you've been through a thing or two.
Ah,
Yes, indeed. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you, Tia. And I don't know what our schedule is. I think it's kind of like however we're feeling. Um,
I mean I'm thinking it's every other Saturday.
so we don't have it next Saturday. We have the following Saturday.
Yeah, every
Okay,
other
that would be like
Saturday.
about the second Saturday in
Mm-hmm.
May, correct? Okay,
Yep.
so that's when we will see you. In the meantime, I may pop in and out depending on when I want to share what I have to say or what I'm thinking, because that's all it would be.
Yeah.
I just have to say that there's so many, it's wonderful to see the manifestation of something you've desired for so long, feeling as if it's within arm's reach.
Yeah, you
Really,
got it.
yeah.
Believe it. You got it. You want it. Reach out and touch somebody's
Amen.
hand.
Yes. Make this world a better place if you can.
That's right. You hear that?
Y'all hear
All
that?
you filthy animals, you savages.
Yes, you heathens.
Well, I will see you in not next Saturday,
The
the
Saturday,
Saturday
I don't know what
after
the
then.
exact date
And
is.
it'll be at your house, right?
You're playing at my house, and you're most welcome. And so we can actually give a date. You know, I don't want to be so okay. We it will be back. It looks like on the 13th, Saturday the 13th. We just missed Friday. Hallelujah.
Yes.
The 13th of May. I don't know what the topic's gonna be. I just like getting together with Tia and just goofing and just don't have to. We don't even have to have a topic. We can find one through the conversation.
Yeah, we do.
So you got it here. Zaddy is not gonna succeed. He's gonna have his the thing about it is that this is a man who said that he never had to ever ask for forgiveness because he never done anything wrong, and sometimes and so sometimes we have to be reminded that maybe we did do something. Well,
Hey, the best part of my day, and we're gonna end on this. The best part of my day was seeing him walk into that courtroom. Cause I'm like, you're gonna be doing that a lot, buddy, a little whole lot more.
yeah,
And just seeing his face and just like he was just that's all I could hear in my head. Just it was just so good to my soul. It was
oh
just
Lord, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Oh, girl. Oh, no.
uh,
And sitting there wanting to keep it together and look really tough as the people scream out about, how much they hate you and lock him up and stuff. It's wasn't a great reception. Not the one you expected anyway.
no.
Yes, so yeah, we heard it
No.
here.
You heard it here. We'll be back. We'll be back in action.
Yes, we will on the 13th of May. In the meantime, everybody, please enjoy the remainder of the weekend. I know we'll see you somewhere on these YouTube streets and somebody's reading something. Certainly, I'll be gathered together.
That's right. That's right. Also, keep an eye out on Jace because
Hmm.
she pops up.
Yeah, I do. I like to share from time to time.
Yeah.
I really wanted to this week. It's just so many. There's just such, life is in session, and sometimes you just got priorities, and if you gotta get on the hustle on the grind, you just gotta get on the hustle and the grind because yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But until then, we'll see everybody. We'll see everybody again. Uh, Make sure you have a good weekend. Chill out, hang out with your friends.
Yes,
Don't party too hard, but
yes.
don't take it too
Do
too
something.
too
Do something that makes
crazy.
you smile. Shit.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
And on
There
that,
we
we
go.
out.
We're out. Bye bye.
Bye bye.